Hi, this is Keiko from Brooklyn Shoe Space. How are you? This is Shoe Talks Quarantine Edition. Today I am inviting Liza of the Virtual Shoe Museum. I'm sure you have all seen shoe calendars. Oops. Hold on. I'm trying to pin a comment. Okay. I'm sure you've seen the shoe calendars, the daily ones as well as the monthly. She is a part of that project, and so I'll ask all about it. Oh, she is on, so let's see if I can accept her on here. All right, waiting for Virtual Shoe Museum. Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
I
you're
in the camera.
Yeah.
I have my assistant with me.
Yeah.
Okay, set them here in. Is this better?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, well, I'm a bit nervous, but
great to see you in person.
This is my first Instagram talk, and I really love being behind the camera.
Yeah.
You got me out of
my
comfort
is on you. How are you? How has quarantine affected you?
Well, I must say that living in the Netherlands and next to the seaside and with not a complete lockdown, that we are, I think, in a really fortunate position. Mm-hmm. And I must say that I enjoy our garden and our house much more because I was always traveling and always on the road. So, I had a lot of plans for traveling. I was doing a shoe talk in Istanbul, and I was opening a really beautiful clock exhibition in the north of the Netherlands. I wanted to do a project in London with London College of Fashion.
Yeah.
And I had to go to Basel, collect my own bags. And that was the first 2 weeks. It was really depressed because it was like everything was cancelled.
Yes.
And then after 2 weeks, I thought, well, everybody has the same situation.
Yeah.
We make the best of it. So we started cleaning the house and working on our archives and working on the website, which was also, that's something that's continuous. And so it also gave me a break.
Yeah. That is a good feeling to have time to organize. Yeah. Especially you've done so much for so long that you must have had so much to archive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Till last year, Taco and I had a big spacious studio near the beach, like 20 minutes walk. And we stopped that. So we had to rearrange our working space back in our house. So we had to get rid of 30 years of graphic archive.
Wow.
It was okay. In the beginning, it was like, I'm not going to let go of all these babies, and it was also good.
Yeah. Did you digitize everything, or did you digitize everything?
Yeah, we had a lot digitized. And
good.
coming,
Wow. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. I think I only know you from the website as well as the calendar. I know you do many more things and consulting and stuff. So if you can tell us a little bit, going back to your beginning, how you started, how long you've been doing what you do, and like kind of like the journey, because I'm sure it wasn't just straight. It might have gone,
No, it's a long journey. I'm 55 now, so I've been around. My father is from England, and he's in oil exploration, and he met my mom in my grandmother's hotel in the north of the Netherlands. And then the first 4 years we traveled around, and then I have to show my mom's shoes.
Yes.
Of course, my mom liked living in Milan. So here are the shoes that she brought. She was always walking on high heels.
Uh-huh.
And I was always playing with her shoes and make my own little shops and
Yeah.
of course walking on them.
Uh-huh.
And then we got back to the Netherlands when I was about 5 years. And I started studying graphic design in the Royal Academy in The Hague. And I've been a graphic designer at corporate identities for like 25 years. And I always choose big design companies because then you also had textile designers and interior designers. And so I quite like it when there's a lot of things happening. And I specialized in text forms.
Okay.
So I like structuring.
Okay.
And that job brought, I was working in Amsterdam, and then in 91 I got a new job in The Hague as a form specialist. And then I met Taco, my partner, at the coffee machine. And then we started traveling for a few years. And while traveling, I started collecting shoes from India and China and Bhutan. Or Tibet, sorry, Bhutan comes later.
Yeah.
And I started with all postcards, and I went to the V&A Museum, so I bought myself, of course, the Vivienne Westwood postcards. And then I started, during working as a graphic designer, I started buying more shoe books, and because I've always, I think, thanks to my mom, loved shoes. So I started with all these little postcards and put them in this the folder. So I started like arranging them. And well, I did that for years, and we got more and more stuff in the house. And then in 2002 or 3, Taco was also a graphic designer, but he started working on all internet programs. And he chose the multimedia side. And then we were talking at Christmas because we had friends over, and I showed all my all the shoe stuff and the boxes. And then I said, I have no idea. I really like collecting, but I don't know what to do. I don't want to open a real museum. And then Taco said, well, their first museums, like in 2000, started with digital collections. And I don't think you had the word blog already. And then he made me a website, the first one in 2004, the Virtual Shoe Museum. And I think also because he was a bit afraid that I would keep collecting and it would take all the space that we have. And then in the beginning, because it's hard to tell, because not everybody was on having email or a website. It was just a telephone. And I had collected also all magazine articles. And so I knew only a few designers. So I started with the Dutch Shoe Museum. And Inge helped me a lot, the curator. Because I needed permission for publishing all the shoes on my website.
Right.
I needed to make sure everything was okay. And then, well, I started with the Van Gogh cloaks.
Okay.
And then one of the first people who emailed me was Kobe Levy from Israel. I think every shoe designer now knows who Kobe Levy is. And then he just graduated, and we also became friends. So during the years, we did a lot of projects, and then it got bigger and bigger. I got invitations from magazines, and I did a radio program and a television program, and then it was still a hobby, but it got more and more time, and then one of the people who emailed me was Workman Publishers from New York, I think 2008. And they've seen a lot of shoes that they didn't find because there were a lot of from Europe and a lot of young designers.
Uh-huh.
And then I started working for them as a researcher. And until today, I'm now working on 2022.
Wow.
It was an ongoing project.
Yeah. Oh, so amazing. How do you find all the new designers? There was a moment, I think, like back in the day when there were a lot of independent designers. How do you look for them? Do you go to
everywhere?
Everywhere?
Yeah, I think of course Facebook and Instagram gave me a wider
reach. Yeah.
Because I people find my website, and even from Russia or Uzbekistan they can find me. And during the years I have a lot of friends that are shoe designers and shoe teachers. And for a few schools I'm a judge. So then you're always in the beginning. And I also started because a lot of students have wonderful shoes with really crappy pictures. So with a friend, Charlotte, who's also my neighbor, and she makes wonderful product photographs. So twice a year we arrange a photo shoot so that we have the material for the calendar and that the designers have really good pictures of their work.
Oh, that's great.
I find shoes everywhere. It's in flea markets.
Do you have a physical collection as well at home?
Yeah, I can show you because
yes, I would love that.
If this works.
You just tap it and it flips the camera. Yeah.
Okay. I just put a few shoes because upstairs I have a big storage now. And this is like only a little part. These are like the wearable shoes. I think you recognize some designers.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I also always use, when I make exhibitions, I always also make sure that there's a lot of art involved. And then also these are really cute.
Wow. Very cool.
Just go back to my place.
Yeah.
Do you usually more about individual shoes later?
Yeah. Do you usually buy or acquire like your own size shoes?
Yes. I try.
So you can wear them.
Yeah. Also we can use them for photo shoots, but I always try to wear something really spectacular when we open. When we have an exhibition opening or when I give a lecture. And I must say that in this period of Corona, I just wear the same sneakers every day.
What are you wearing today?
I can show. I just have to see how this interaction.
Yoo-hoo!
I think they're one of my favorite pairs.
Yeah.
It's from Jeremy Scott for Adidas. Yeah. And I love them because they have different colors on both feet. And they're super comfortable.
Yeah. That's so great.
I haven't, since the whole Corona, I didn't wear heels at all.
Right.
And all like comfy clothes. And
yes, absolutely. So which year calendar is your favorite? Do you have favorites?
No, I think that was a good question because I think it will be 2022 because every year, sometimes I think, well, I've seen it all and after 15 years of shoe hunting. And then every year there are a few designers and students or artists who make something really, really spectacular. And so it's also... it develops.
Right.
And also thanks to all the wonderful shoe teachers like Aki.
Yeah. That's so cool. So yeah, that's wonderful. Tell us a little bit about exhibitions. So so the calendar work is an ongoing thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like yearly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah.
it's quite a long process, and we always
Mm-hmm.
start like 1.5 years before.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's always really nice because I have like a secret not to be published
Yeah.
area till the year is there.
Uh-huh.
And
With mm-hmm.
in 2012, I was a bit fed up with graphic design. And I really liked the shoe work, and I had no clue how I would survive only with the website, because selling advertisement was not my cup of tea. And I only wanted to choose shoes on the website that I really for 100% like. And then we had, in 1.5 year, we had 4 of our parents into the hospital and out. So I was super tired. And then I
Yeah.
thought, well, I just quit the graphic design and we'll see what happens. Maybe I can be a writer or do public relations for designers. I had no clue, but I just know I had to quit. And I already did a few small exhibitions at 2009, thanks to Nicolien van Enter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she had a really big space at the GDS in Düsseldorf. And she said, well, I need something. Can you help me out with some real shoes so we can create a space where people will be attracted and they will come to my forecast lectures? And we did it for, I think, 4 seasons. And that's also where I met Aki. And then I met more and more nice people from the shoe world in person. And then we had a Chinese delegation in 2010. And then they said, well, can you do this in Dongguan? And then I thought, well, if I can do it here, it will, with all the customs and transport. But I did it, it was really small. I had 2 really big suitcases and an insured parcel. And then we just went to China, and it was scary, but it was really nice. And it was also nice to show a lot of crazy designs on it. It was a bit of a boring, how do you say that, boring fair. So right. We spiced it up a bit.
Yes.
And then 2-3 years later, I got more and more into the shoe world. And then, I quit my job, which was also a really big step after all these years, because I like working with colleagues.
Right.
And after 6 weeks, I got an email from the Grassi Museum, a contemporary, beautiful museum in Leipzig. And they were looking for a Dutch artist, Bart Hess, and they wanted to do a textile exhibition. But then they were looking for him. He has this. And then they stayed on my website for a few hours. And I think on Monday they called me, and I had to look it up on in the where I knew it was somewhere near Berlin, but I didn't know precise. And then they said, "Oh, maybe are you interested in doing a big shoe exhibition with experimental shoes?" And then I thought, well, I'm really tired and I need a break, but I was 6 weeks at home. And then I thought, well, if I can work on this for a year, maybe it will work out. And then a week later, I was in the plane on my way to Grassi. And it was wonderful. It was a wonderful museum. It was a wonderful team to work with. It was a really, I think, 220 shoes, and in different themes. We had nature, architecture, fetish, crazy materials. So we had all kinds of themes. And what is also a little bit on the website as well. And it was really nice. It was the first time that I really worked with the big museum team. And for me, it was also fantastic to, normally you just see the exhibition, but there's also a whole world behind it with
behind it too.
transport and storage and publications and
Mm-hmm.
writing a book.
Mm-hmm.
And that started in 2013, and it was
Mm-hmm.
really successful. And after that, there were a lot of museums who wanted the same exhibition, but
Mm-hmm.
because it's always like they were always like a year behind, because then it was closed down and already moving. And then we changed it traveled around, I think, for 3 years, but then
Uh-huh.
sometimes when a shoe or an artwork was already sold or planned into another exhibition, I replaced it. And so it was like an ongoing changing adventure, and it went from country to country.
That is so
And
wonderful.
yeah, it's really
And then,
funny.
yeah, and then every year, do you add more new shoes as well, or was it the
Yeah, well,
similar
I think
traveling?
no, I think that was for 3 years. I had the same group, and then
Okay.
shoes went in and out an extra, and then after that, I also got requests from other museums if I wanted to make a complete new exhibition. And yeah, that like the Shootopia with Aki in CCS in 2017. So, and
Mm,
then the nicest part is if you can just start it over again. And for me, it's really fantastic that you can work with shoes that I really love,
yeah, yeah.
but also with art and artists, and also
Uh-huh.
your few weeks or for 2 years you work with a totally new crew in a
Wow.
different
Right,
country, but
right.
you also build it up together and you take it
Mm-hmm.
down together and you do the whole process. So for me it's like changing jobs
Right.
all the time.
All the time, yeah. But it's
Yeah,
fascinating. The lead time is so long, the prepping time and
yeah,
research, prepping, acquiring and
hmm,
not renting, but it
yeah,
seems
it's
like
like
one or two
2 years.
years. Two
Yeah, it's
years.
like 2 years preparation, and sometimes it's shorter if it's a
Mm-hmm.
smaller exhibition, and then it's on for 3 or 4 months or
Mm-hmm.
maybe six. And now during Corona, we have extended some exhibitions.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hardest part is the last day when it ends and you have
And
to put everything back in the boxes and
ship
give
it
it back to the
back.
designers.
Yes.
And I started from the beginning. From every exhibition, I purchased a few
Wow. Mm-hmm.
shoes and
Yourself, yeah.
artworks myself.
Yeah, yeah.
I can use in other exhibitions, or I just have them here and show them to friends or.
Yeah, that's so great. So do you, when you collaborate with curators or the museum, do you have a lot of this input in terms of theme or design, or is that what people come to you for, or do they
Yeah,
have a little bit of idea a little bit ahead of
yes,
time with like a theme and you kind of fit all the
yeah.
shoes
In the
to the theme?
beginning, it was really, we want what the Grossi Museum had. We want that, and then I just had to tell them, well, I don't have it anymore, and some of the things are not there, or the designers that were in that exhibition have created new work which is even maybe better or different. And so I think people, before they contact me, they have a look on the website, and then
Mm-hmm.
some people think that I have actually with me everything that's on the website, which would have been impossible.
Yeah.
So sometimes I have to disappoint people that I only have a little fraction, but I have all the contacts.
Yeah.
And I also know mostly because I know all the people I loan shoes from. I really know them, so I also know if they still have the shoes or that they are in a
Oh,
permanent
yeah.
collection or
Yeah.
not
That,
there anymore.
yeah. Right. 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 That's interesting. Somebody asked, the viewer asked, do you have any exhibitions planned right now or future?
Um,
Are you working on anything right
well,
now?
plans enough, but at the moment it's quite difficult because even some really beautiful museums have closed down due to Corona, and
Right.
everybody is really how do you say that? Holding back with new plans. But I must say, I did a really nice exhibition with the museum. It's called Spielzeug Welten in Basel,
Uh-huh.
and that was 3,000 years of shoes in
Wow.
2014. And after that, it was such a nice cooperation. So they asked me also to do hats and bags.
Ooh.
And in October, it's totally different. It's a different area, but also it's the same network.
Yep.
And the next one will be all about denim
Okay.
in
Wow.
October. So I also, during the years, I sometimes left the shoes a little bit.
Mm.
But some of the shoe designers also created hats or bags. So,
Right.
or
There's a
even
crossover.
yeah, and even in
Yeah.
the denim exhibition, there will be a few really, really spectacular shoes, of course,
Right.
where
Made with
people
denim.
make,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, so and ideas enough, but I have to. Sometimes I did 2 or 3 years in 2017 and 18. I had 4 exhibitions at the same time in 4 countries, and
Wow.
that was that was exhausting. It was
Yeah.
also a lot of fun because mostly I say you say yes, and it's also also maybe due to Corona that you it's also nice to look back what
Yes.
happened all these years.
Yes, absolutely.
Because normally you never have to, well, you
But
keep the books or the posters or the websites from the museums, but it's you never have time to think what you actually did last year.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
always running to the next one, and oh, plans enough, but I just have to. I really need a museum space to exhibit because
Mm-hmm.
then it's also with that the shoes are secured and transported well with an art company,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the biggest part of the budget.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I did a few exhibitions and fairs with that the shoes were not only guarded by me and it freaked me out because if it's shoes and if they are made of needles or special
Right.
material, the first thing people do when they come in, even if you have this big sign, do not touch,
Don't touch.
they just grab it with their dirty fingers. So I thought if I really want to work with museums and with also for the designers who loan me their unique material,
Right.
and it feels really good to. I really love the museum world.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's
I
so.
think I will continue. I hope so. And
Yeah.
otherwise, if all the museums are closing down or don't have budgets, I just have to make it virtual.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I think you can. You
I
totally
hope
do
so.
have the
Well, with the help
resources
of
too.
Taco.
Yes, definitely. Have you ever made shoes yourself before?
No, I found a little picture, but I'm not going to share that. I with flowers around a foot. No, I must say that was the in 2003 I had my second daughter Alaska, and then I was of course having a few months of work,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was really hesitating. Shall I? Because I love it so much, and I also like to make things. Do I want to do
Try
the whole
making. Uh-huh.
schooling or trying? And but there are so many shoe designers around me who are making such amazing shoes that I thought maybe it's better for me just to find them
Yeah.
and help them show them to the world, because I think I will be always disappointed if
With
it will be never as good as what I have found from other
seen or
people.
found. Right. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm
That's
quite happy.
interesting. That's super interesting.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
actually,
but you
some
never know. Maybe if there, maybe if there would be a few months that I really, really, really don't know what to do with my time, but till now never happened.
never happens. No,
Who knows? I have friends
yeah,
enough who can teach me. So
yeah, right, right.
yeah.
Sabotus Bespoke asks, how do you find that artists who work with shoes as sculptural pieces get their work out there? Oh, what does that mean?
It's a lot it's a lot of museum visits.
Uh-huh.
And of course, I must say I'm really fortunate to have a really, really nice group of friends. And if they see something, they will send it immediately. From I don't think you have seen this before, and here it is, and that's helpful. But we also go a lot to museums, and yeah, I search online, and also that's also nice now with the research for handbags and bags and the denim. I have how do you say that? If you have a big fish, you have a lot of little fish that you also catch. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we call it bijvangst. So it's sometimes it happens that I'm looking for something else, and then
you
thanks
come up
to
with
Google, then something totally different pops up. And yeah, and for the rest, it's yeah, looking everywhere. It's
wow.
yeah,
That's so great.
The most fun parts.
Yeah. One YJLB_NL asks, Liza is an amazing person to work with. I'm wondering if you have a favorite footwear piece you own or want to own.
Oh, oh, I would. If it would have possible, I would have wanted the McQueen armadillos, but they were, I think, sold for 100,000 euros.
Gosh, yeah.
And I don't have that budget.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I always said that if they're also unaffordable. But I once made a joke that I will trade my whole personal collection for one pair of this. And then I thought, well, maybe not. It's really it's like every shoe that I have in my personal collection, even if I can wear it or it's an object, every shoe has a really nice story, or I don't think I could really. I'm really happy with the Novas from Hadid. That I purchased them on when it was possible, because it's a limited edition. And they are I will show you, otherwise maybe people don't know. It's this one.
Yeah.
And because you can wear them, but it's also like a sculpture. Sometimes I just put them on the mantelpiece because I really, really find the form really beautiful. And no, I think it was Alexander McQueen's armadillo. If there was something I really wanted to have. And I must also say that I can be really happy. Of course, I'm happy with new shoes. Otherwise, I wouldn't come this far. But I can also be as happy if I find something on internet or when a new student sends me his or her work. And then I think, well, this is really, really, really fantastic and never seen this before. And then I'm already really happy that it's on the website or maybe later in the museum exhibition. I don't have to have everything myself.
Right. Are they comfortable, by the way, when you wear those?
Oh, I don't think. If I say no, then I get an argument with Koolhaas. You can wear them on a special night on a really good floor. And
it
But
depends. You know, some people actually have the feet that are like
yeah.
quite narrow, and they can
Mm-hmm.
fit in so many shoes. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous of them. You know, I have like not a weird feet. I just have a particular
Mm-hmm.
foot. So a lot of shoes don't fit me. So, you know, I just thought to ask.
No,
Matt?
I must say I have a lot of shoes from the Dutch designer Ilja collection, and they were all made by René van den Berg, and they are super comfortable, even if they have really high heels. So, and he knows that because I can wear them, and
Wow. That's great. That's great. So Mad Taylor Leather says there will be lots of wonderful new material from all kinds of artists that has been staying home. Yeah, I agree.
I hope so. Yeah, and it's also I'm always a judge for the Sint-Niklaas Sask education in it's near Antwerp. It's a Belgium education, and normally we would have a really big catwalk show next week, and but now in Belgium there's a heavy lockdown, so all the students are not able to make the shoes,
Right.
and also with London College of Fashion, they're not allowed to make the shoes because everybody needs to have the same level of possibilities. So that's all. Yeah, that's also a pit. That's a well, it's a luxurious pity if you compare it to people dying.
Right.
It's also for the students. It's a really difficult period.
Yeah, no, I agree, especially
And
for the
also
seniors.
because everything that it was really normal to go to school and to
Yeah.
travel and to have access to everything around, and
Yeah.
that's something which is really strange in this time, that it's worldwide. It's not one or two countries that are at war, or there's something a big nature disaster. It's like worldwide.
Everybody.
People
Yeah.
are cut off, but it also makes people creative, because we had here in the Netherlands, you have a group of people who started Corona art, and it's on Instagram, and they asked people to how do you say it, to make a replica of a really famous artwork, but then at
From
home
home.
with themselves as part of the painting, and it's hilarious. It's amazing what people can do
Can
with
come up with
toilet paper or fruit,
right.
and it's really nice because you see a lot of paintings that or maybe Frida Kahlo is a really good object, a person to mimic, and it's really nice that you could. That also shows that it will also, some of the people will just make something even better,
more.
invent something.
Yeah.
And we have to deal. It's here, so we have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And
it's like a design challenge. It's almost like a design challenge, and all the creators seem to be able to keep on creating, which is fascinating to see.
Yeah, I would have to need other materials, or if you don't have a stitching machine, well, you have to do it by hand or use other handcraft. And we have to. It's there, so we have to live with it.
Right. Do you have a dream footwear exhibition in mind, and where would that be if you wanted to do an exhibition that's like special? If you,
you also ask if you have all the money in the world.
The resources. If you had unlimited resources.
Well, if it was an unlimited project, I would choose Versailles in Paris as a building. And then I would ask a lot of. Sometimes I can't get a hold of something that I know where it is, I know in which museum, but they won't lend it, or it's not possible, or it's too expensive. Then I would like to have this special artists that I till now I couldn't organize. And I would ask designers and artists to make me unique pieces, and then completely paid, like all the labor and all the material. So that would be
a dream.
I don't think it's going to happen in this world. And I had, thanks to your questions, I had to think about it in 2014. In the really after Grassi, I was in contact with a beautiful museum in Denmark, and it was a castle. And the ground floor, it was all black and dark. They at that moment they had jewelry exhibited. It was beautiful, all silver jewelry. And then the top floor of the castle, it was all white and with big. It was all wood, and it was with big windows, and they had keramics like from the 17th century. And then I thought I had a really nice idea, and it was almost signed. We almost signed the contract to make Heaven and Hell. That I had all the really dark, more Tim Burton like shoes and really heavy black, and then on top like the feathers and I had it's complete. I have it completely visualized. But in the week that the contract was to be signed, then my really nice contact had a problem with the directors, and he quit the job. So it's like this. It never happened, but it was so. It's always so nice if you have the building can also or the room that you get to create your exhibition in. Can be a really big part of the whole scenery. And this one, I just threw it away. And I was maybe one day I can go back and can realize the plan.
Right. Yeah, and
now I have to paint Versailles in a bit different colors.
That'll be fun. Yeah, it seems like you get inspiration.
I don't think that will be happening.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Never say never.
Yeah, and it's also it's really nice if you have what was nice with the Zootopia, with of course working with Aki was wonderful, and going to Detroit was wonderful, and with that exhibition I had a chance to work with a lot of American artists and designers that are in my website, but it's always a really big thing to get it from America to Europe with all the customs and the shipping. And that was really nice that we had a chance also to meet a lot of American designers that were present at the opening. So with every project there is something that if it's a small budget or a big budget, you can you just work with what's possible.
Yeah. No, wonderful. Another question. I think somebody was asking. Hold on. Sorry.
I don't have reading glasses, so I don't even see the questions.
Hold on. There's so many. Okay. Hold on. I think everybody's. Ooh, yeah, Liza, make Versailles happen, Aki says.
Who says that?
Aki says you should
Aki.
totally make the Versailles happen.
Okay. We do it together, Aki.
Please. And our in Seoul Academy suggests Bata Museum, if you have collaborated with them.
No, not yet, because you said it, I think yesterday or to Jeff that you didn't see it. I wanted to see it because it was really close to Detroit, so I had completely planned to see the Bata Museum after my visit to Detroit, and then there was in 2017. It was a horror winter, so there was a lot of flights cancelled, and it was really difficult I had to go back home to be sure that I was home for Christmas with the girls.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so it's on my list, but I want to go back, and maybe we can visit together because you
Oh, I
didn't
would
see
love
it
that.
also,
I
because
would
it's
love
on
that.
my top wish list.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
if they
I would
want to
love that.
make an exhibition, I would say yes tomorrow. They didn't
Oh,
ask me yet.
ooh,
Maybe
ooh.
that helps.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, Art and Soul Academy says it's amazing. Come to Toronto. Yeah, I'll be talking to her tomorrow. Yeah, do you think you would do, what would you like to do in 3 to 5 years? So do you think you would change
Mm.
a little bit of what you're going to be doing but after Corona, like
Well,
style or
yeah, well,
method?
that's difficult because I've ideas enough, and there's like unlimited access to wonderful shoes, and but I need museums to make it happen, and
Right.
I want to work with the museum team, but I can always I can always start my own project. So
Mhm.
I will see, because it's really funny because you have no idea what Corona will. Even the Olympic Games are
Yeah.
not sure if it's going to happen next year, which I find really scary as a sports lover.
Yeah.
And so I thought it's, and maybe I want to, because I was, what I really, I also, next to shoes and bags and hats, I also like embroidery art.
Yeah. Ooh,
And
yes.
I follow a lot of
Every culture has something, right? Yeah.
oh, I love that. Yeah, but also there are a lot of artists who do amazing embroidery on postcards and things
Uh-huh.
like that. And I thought, well, if until now, I have an endless list of stuff that I still need to do here and archive at my website. But maybe I want to make something myself.
Ooh.
And I don't know, it would be shoe related, but I don't think I'm going to ever make a shoe, but who
But
knows?
yeah, what we I think all the shoe designers need somebody like you who are on the hunt for really fun and amazing shoes and showing it to the world. So
Yeah, but
I really
it's also it's I need the shoe designers, because
right,
without people like you, I would have an empty website. So
right.
it's completely
I wonder,
um
how like the museums have been doing all the they've been showing their museum virtually, or I wonder if
mhm.
that's going to become a new norm where they, of course, they'll have a physical exhibition maybe
Mhm.
as well, but if they're gonna just continuously do online virtual
Yeah,
shows,
I think that part will be bigger. But I
yeah.
must say, because when I make shoe exhibitions with a museum that's far away, and we do everything online,
Mm-hmm.
and I select the shoes from my website by
Mm-hmm.
theme, sometimes when I get the real shoe in, I'm really surprised that it's like much bigger or much smaller, because in the
Right.
beginning, I've learned through the years that you have to, before you ship something in, you need all the exact measurements. But in the beginning, I was just playing around with all the shoes on my website, and then making nice little groups together. And
Yeah.
then you order them, and then sometimes you think it's size 37, and then it's 47, and then you need a
Wow.
bigger showcase.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Interesting.
yeah, and I must say that after all these years of making shoe exhibitions, it's nice that I have them online, but to see the
Yeah,
real shoe
yeah.
with the material and the
Up
paint and
close. Yeah.
3D, it's so much nicer.
Yes, absolutely. Even if you can't touch it, right? You're like,
Yeah, yeah,
even if you
sure.
can't touch it, just to kind of go
Yeah.
along and
Yeah, but
see.
it's so different
So
if you
different.
see it in 3D, and I
Yeah.
think that's because people are also, I saw that there were a really a few projects with fashion shows
Mm-hmm.
online, and
Mm-hmm.
of course it's beautiful and it's a beautiful experiment, but to see the real, yeah, the real clothes
Yeah.
in fabric, and it's
Yeah.
so better. So
So much better.
I think it will be maybe two equal worlds in a few years.
Mm. Mm.
Because that's also what the telephone took over after the computer. So
Right. Yeah.
but maybe you could do something also if you do it virtually. Then you also maybe could do it with 4 museums, and then each have its own part that you need to visit every museum to get the whole
Experience. Yeah.
to get everything together, or
Yeah.
maybe something
There's
like that.
there's possibilities. Yeah.
Enough. Yeah.
Yeah. You seem to have a lot of ideas in your head, so I think it's gonna happen at some point. So I'm
Oh,
looking
I
really
hope
forward.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so too.
Yeah, definitely. And somebody else also asked, where do you get your inspiration?
Um, yeah, I think well, a lot of it's scanning Instagram, and also I still Facebook. I know it's for old ladies like me, but I still get inspiration on Facebook, but also on. A lot in I think contemporary museums
Mm-hmm.
and fashion shows, but also by traveling,
By
by
traveling.
finding. If
Mm-hmm.
I make an exhibition in Munich, then I always go to the little flea markets or the crazy shops, or even in the supermarket you can find
Mm-hmm.
really
Yeah.
crazy things. And yeah, also books.
Yeah.
I still love
Mm-hmm.
bookstores.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest one I've been to was in Detroit. And also, I think art galleries, that's
Right.
also something that I really find very interesting.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. Another question, have you done any exhibits on like men's traditional shoes in particular? I feel like you're more, I feel like I know your work as more like the pop as well as the art, sculptural,
Yeah. There,
colorful, like,
oh,
not too,
a
like not,
complete men's shoe
yeah,
exhibition. That could be really cool. Yeah.
it could be cool, or for some people it could be really boring. You never know, but
No,
it's
because
beautiful.
I think
Mm-hmm.
there are also, I don't have a selection on my website that's called men's shoes, but you can look on Broke.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are also men's shoes there's one pair is from, I think, an American artist. It's complete made of lacquerage, and it's 2 meters of 2 meters size.
Mm.
So, and there are a lot of video artists who also work there are men's shoes. And I think in the art section, also on my website, you can find men's shoes.
Men's.
But of course, I think the most crazy shoes are mostly for the high heeled shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I would like to try
Yeah.
to make a men's shoe exhibition.
Very cool. Very cool. Looking forward to what you do next.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see you in person. I'm really excited.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, the stupid thing is we planned a trip to New York in June because our youngest daughter she turned 16, and her biggest wish was to see New York. And it's not going to happen this year, but maybe next year.
Yeah, when you do come, please let me know. Yeah, I'd love to see you. And maybe we can even make a trip to Toronto.
Yeah, well, let's do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mad Taylor Leather says, count me in for the men's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like I mean, in the US too, like the cowboy boots and there's so many themes of like men's shoes that's elaborate. I feel like that's handmade here.
Yeah, and also Liza Sorel, she's American. She makes wonderful cowboy boots as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because my English dad was in oil exploration, and he was always traveling abroad, and he worked in Houston for
Texas.
a long time. And he was, when he picked me up at kindergarten, he was always wearing big Texas boots, and I always hated it. And then now, when I'm much older, I thought, oh, it's pretty cool
Pretty
if your dad
cool.
in
Yeah.
that time, in the 70s, was wearing these boots. And at that time, I really thought, oh my God, I just pretend I don't know him.
That's funny. So you
So
probably,
things change.
yeah, you had influence both from your mother and your father, I think, with
Yeah,
shoes, it
I think
seems like.
so. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
very cool. Thank you for
Yeah.
thank you for taking your time with me and sharing your
Yeah,
work.
thank you.
It's amazing what you've been doing and what you are doing now. I hope to see
Well, I
more
think
next.
your project is wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes. All right. See you again soon,
Okay.
someday. All right.
Bye-bye. See
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.